MXGP ramp qualifying race then. Jorge Prado thought he pulled the whole shot down the inside, but he ran wide at the first turn. And Jeremy Seewer just snuck up the inside. And he emerged in front. Glenn Koldenoff emerged just behind him in second. And Prado was third, and Febvre in fourth place on the opening lap. Koldenoff just made a slight error there. That thwarted Febvre ever so slightly. Jonas getting the better of Tim Geiser as he moved into fourth place. Febvre in the thick of it, went around the outside of Prado, as you saw just from our cam there, but those two battled over third place for quite a while. Back and forth, back and forth. Geiser keeping a watching brief in fifth, ahead of Paul Jonas, Ruben Fernandez, Brian Bogers and Albi Ferrato. Benoit Patcherel in 10th on the opening lap. This was the first attempt. Febvre had to find his way past Prado. He thought he'd nailed it, but guess what? A couple of corners later, Prado got better drive, was back into third position. Eventually, Romain Febvre did move the Spaniard aside, and he did make it stick. And that was on lap 2. Calvin Valonren went out with a technical issue. He will go to the line in 33rd place. Meanwhile, Seewer under attack from his teammate Glenn Koldenoff. Koldenoff went through. That was on lap 3. And it wasn't long before the 91, who didn't look like he was enjoying his time out here in Arnhem, got caught and passed by Romain Febvre in this corner. And again, a lap later, by Jorge Prado. As you'll see here, went wide again, allowed Prado a move up the inside. That's how close it was between those two. All of a sudden, Seewer down to fourth, Prado up to third. Koldenoff led the way. He made this mistake here, had to hit the brakes on the crest of the jump. That allowed Febvre just enough momentum to drop it along the outside of him on lap 5 to go on and lead. And from there, no one saw him. Glenn Koldenoff hung on for second, Prado third, Seewer fourth. But the circuit, it was very hot and humid on Saturday. But it was Febvre who took the qualifying win in the ramp qualifying race. And here's how the championship looks coming into race 1 after those points have been added. Jorge Prado now 96 points clear Romain Febvre, with Seewer 72 further back. Koldenoff 48 behind his teammate, and then Fernandez 37 behind. Take a look how the riders line up then. Romain Febvre on pole for the third time this season for Kawasaki Racing Team. Glenn Koldenoff on Montrose Yamaha, second to the grid in his home Grand Prix, ahead of Jorge Prado's Red Bull Gas. Seewer, Geiser for Team HRC, Ferrato, SM Action, Yuasa Battery, and then Ruben Fernandez and Benoit Patcherel on the Debats Yamaha. Brian Bogers and Maxime Renault ran out the top 10. Then we've got Mitch Evans going to the line in 11th, ahead of Max Speeds, Paul Jonas, Petr Petrov, Adam Sterry, and Valentin Guillaume. Following him to the line will be Alan Osland, Ben Watson, Tom Cock, and Albin Gerhardsen. Calvin Valonren will be going to the gate 33rd after his DNF in the ramp qualifying race. He's going to be all the way to the outside gate. Spoke to him earlier, is he going to try to sweep across or cut back? He said he'll worry about that when he has to worry about it. Jorge Prado, though, still very much in control of this championship. 96 points the difference between him and Romain Febvre as we head into race 1. Glenn Koldenoff, limited edition livery for him this weekend. The Montrose Yamaha rider would love to be on the podium here. He'd love even more to win, if he can, his home Grand Prix. His teammate might have something to say about that, though. Didn't really have the flow yesterday. Can he turn things around today? And Tim Geiser slowly working his way back into contention. 5th in the qualifying race. Is he due a podium this weekend? And Alberto Ferrato, 8th in the championship chase, coming in here this weekend. He's had a couple of 6 overalls. Definitely got his party head on as he gets ready for MXGP Race 1. And Ruben Fernandez, Team HRC, 5th in the championship chase. He's 23 clear of Valondren. Vallandren starting all the way out to the right-hand side of the gate. Brian Bogus, the standing construct Honda rider, he'll be looking forward to a successful Grand Prix here at home as everybody psychs themselves up. There's Watson there, the 919 next to Alvin Osland and Valentin Guillot. Over on the inside gates here, Febvre, Seewer, Prado, Koldenhoff and the rest. In fact, Koldenhoff has gone gate 4, giving up a couple of gate positions. Fly Racing 15-second board up then. MXGP race 1 here. The MXGP of the Netherlands at Arnhem. Who will it be that grabs that all-important foxhole shot? It's been between those two, centre of the screen throughout the whole campaign. Seewer on 11, Prado on 10. Heads down, revs up. Gate drops now. Prado, he's in there, but is he in there hot? Is it Febvre? It's Prado with foxhole shot number 11. Febvre right there behind him, then Seewer and Koldenhoff. Or actually Maxime Renault. So Renault there in 4th, Koldenhoff 5th. And Fernandez and Pacharel upside down, probably in turn 2. Jonas in there in 5th place. He's just nudged by the 259 of Koldenhoff. Then Vallandren, wow, where did he come from? I was looking across to the inside gates, and Vallandren, who had no choice really but to go all the way to the outside. What a fantastic start that is for the Geven van Venrooy Yamaha rider. Would love to see a replay of that at our earliest opportunity, probably in a few laps from now, but putting himself in 7th place. Guy sitting 8, Bogus 9, Evans 10. But Febvre in 3rd at the moment, behind the 91 of Seewer. As Jonas looking to move forward. There's Prado, Seewer, Febvre. Jonas in 4th, Maxime Renault in 5th place. Then Koldenhoff high to the outside, 6th. Oh, 7, Geiser almost into the rear wheel of the Yamaha man. And then Vallandren just behind them. Vallandren just off the back of that group in white. Intense opening couple of laps here. Oh, back end stepping out there as they re-emerge on the track. But Prado with 1.8 over Seewer. You cannot give Prado this kind of advantage, certainly not in these conditions. Especially when the track is like it is, edgy, unpredictable. Jonas 4, Renault 5, Koldenhoff, Vallandren, Geiser, Bogus, Evans. They are your top 10. And Jonas goes defensive. Great to see Maxime Renault up there as well in 5th place. His first ride back got a 13th and a 3rd in Sweden. Another rider still working his way back to fitness after being missing since Spain 9 rounds ago. It's looking good here though, looking handy. Fernandez in 31st place. Pacharel in 32nd, those two. Two things I want to see from the start replay. Where Fernandez and Pacharel went down, was it into turn 1 or turn 2? And Vallandren, where did he start from? His start, did he just rely on everybody else braking to the inside and he just railed it around the outside? Either way, he's got Geiser in his line of sight. And he'll fancy a move on the 5-time champ. Meanwhile, Febvre, he'll pass Seewer, dropping into the penultimate turn. Stayed a lot lower than the Yamaha. And the Kawasaki rider now up in the 2nd at the end of this first official lap. His eyes now firmly fixed on Prado, who is currently 2 seconds further up the track. Lap times 49.8, 49.1 and 50.5. Prado, Febvre and Seewer. Looking a little bit better than he did in the qualifying race, Jeremy Seewer. Has he made some changes? Saw him heading out onto the track with Jackie Vimon after the qualifying race yesterday. Vimon very philosophical, the first ever French world champion and the trainer. So Jeremy Seewer probably calming himself down. Fernandez is in. Look at the body, it's been chewed up there. He's coming for goggles. But he was involved in an altercation with Benoit Paturel. Looks like he's had either exhaust burns or tyre burns on that left shoulder. Not the way Fernandez wanted to start this Dutch Grand Prix. Right, Koldenhoff closing in on Renault. Those two fighting over 5th and 6th place. Just here, 9.59 and 2.59. Great start to the race for PJ. 41, standing construct Honda, Paul Jonas. Verlandren still there. He's found his way past Geiser now, up into 7th place. Right, Koldenhoff trying desperately to find his way past his French teammate, Maxime Renault. Oh, nicely done through there, Max. Had the momentum. Prado now stretching his lead over Romain Febvre, 2.4 seconds with the fastest lap of the race so far. Watch these two here. Maxime Renault just picks up the front end, dances his way in, keeps that front end high, right the way through the turn there. Look at that, nicely done. Koldenhoff equally capable of doing such things though on a motorcycle in sand. If you're joining us live, no Jeffrey Hurlings. Broken collarbone in free practice yesterday. Back end stepping out on Renault's Yamaha there though. So the Bullet missing his first Dutch Grand Prix. Chewed up track. It's only going to get worse later on in the day. With each passing lap as well. 30 riders out on track, 33 riders out on track. 100-metre long wave section. You can mono and then double a couple here and there. Ferrato, just a little untidy there. In turn 9, here's Evans. He's in 11th place for Kawasaki Racing. Alberto Ferrato has spooked Brian Bogus here. The Dutchman having a nervous look over the shoulder as he saw the orange looming large, quite literally, in his rear view mirror, if he had one. 71. Max speed, a mistake there from Evans. Evans stays in 11th place. Jorge Prado. Did he make a mistake here a few moments ago? He's just dancing to his own tune, as always. Gap 2.2 seconds. Sector 1, 29.0, fastest of the race for Prado, eclipsed 28.7 by Febvre. The gap down to less than 2 seconds, 1.9 now. Doubling his way into that turn, end of the straight. Jumping long there just to try and soak up some of those holes. Between 25 and 30 degrees, the weather conditions today. Not a lot of wind out there. Any wind that there is here is warm and stifling. It's pretty humid. Why, did he just catch his left foot peg there as he jumped through that turn? His left leg momentarily came off that peg as he jumped through the middle of the turn. Didn't cost him any time. Probably didn't even realise it. Right, take a look at the foxhole shot here. No guesses. Right, Where's Verlandren here in all of this? Yeah, Verlandren came right across from the left-hand side, look, and bravely up the bank around the outside, but it was Prado with the foxhole shot for the 11th time. So Verlandren didn't go all the way over to the far right-hand side like I thought he would, so maybe some gaps left open for him. But he's got to do it all again in race 2 from the same position. Meanwhile, Pauls Jonas under attack from Renault and Koldenhoff. Some riders saying yesterday, difficult to overtake on the track. Because it's fast, it's unpredictable. Mistake there for Renault, though. Allows Koldenhoff just to gain a couple of bike lengths. The bikes, how they misbehave in these conditions. Koldenhoff going the long way round, has to run over the berm at the end of the exit there. Gained a couple of bike lengths, lost a couple, probably just in that one move alone. Jumping long, Maxime Renault. See the difference there, if you've got the confidence to jump and time it right, land down one of those holes. See the gain he had on Pauls Jonas there. Jonas looking good here, 41 in 4th place, the former MX2 world champion, don't forget, 2017. Koldenhoff has found a nice line through there, turn 11. Prado continues to lead Febvre by 2.5 seconds. Coming in the background, Geiser closing in on Verlandren. Geiser goes wide, he gets the drive up the inside, wheelers beautifully onto the face of the jump and gets the distance. Whoa, they were very close mid-air. Not often you see Geiser jump across the track like that from one side to the other. Either way, he finds himself up into 7th place. I think somebody bought a new camera. Koldenhoff around the outside. Makes the pass on Renault. And moves up in the 4th as well. He's found his way past Jonas. And so too as Renault. So Pauls Jonas now under attack from the 243 of Tim Geiser. This kind of race intensity. Pauls Jonas missing, of course, for much of the season. He made his return to action last time out in Sweden, where he got 5th overall. Only did the first 3 rounds, didn't start in France. So coming in on a track so physically demanding as this. Yes, he's based in and around Belgium. Yes, the Latvian. Oh, big time down. Was that Verlandren? Yes, it was. Wow, Verlandren. Was that a case of trees don't move? Big roar from the crowd. Verlandren out of 8th place. Technical issue in the ramp qualifying race yesterday, putting him to the grid 33rd. Massive crash at the end of the waves, I think that was. And out of 8th place, Jonas now under pressure. He's in 6th. 6 laps complete. Yeah, Ferrato. Okay, Ferrato and Verlandren coming together at the end of the straight. Not sure who was at fault there, but Ferrato from out of nowhere, possibly down the inside, bang bars. As Geiser moves up the inside of Jonas and into 6th place. So Prado leads now, his lead cut to 1.4, 1.2 now. As Febvre looks interested Slightly quicker in both the first two sectors. 1:47.8 compared to a 48.6. Febvre, the fastest rider on track. He has Prado right where he wants him. Valandren parking it. Hopefully we see him in race 2. No point in going out there now with 15 minutes to go. Right at the back, not going to score any points. Get himself checked over, get the bike checked over as well. But an intense battle about to ensue here between Prado and Febvre. The gap now down to 8 tenths. Don't need us to tell you that though. Down to nothing in real time. Prado has found his way past Jonas. He is on the charge. He's up in the 7th place. Prado muscling his SM Action Racing USA battery machine past the Latvian. Here's how he did it. Turn 13. Just relentless down that inside there. Jonas maybe just expending too much energy in the early stages of this first race. The standing construct Honda rider is just ahead of his teammate now, Brian Bogers. But good ride through the field this for Prado in orange here. He's now up in the 7th position. Bogers there in the opposite direction. Probably in turn 4 around about nowish. So that's the gap. It's around about 6.9 seconds. Meanwhile, the gap going from 0.8 to 1.5. Good response this from Prado as he looks to break free and gain 3 championship points on Febvre. Traffic may have a say though. Febvre looking interested. I was down at the Kawasaki camp earlier on. There's a few Japanese bigwigs down there this weekend. So no pressure to perform then. Oh, waved yellows just after the finish line. Wheels on the ground. Man down. Looks like, mate, is he just picking himself up, or is that a technical issue there, whoever it was? Oh, man down. That's what that was. Might have been Misha Dual. Meanwhile, Febvre all over the back of Prado. These two now fighting over the lead once more. Prado rushing, trying to find his way past the 8:22 of Mike Bolling. Anything Prado does, Febvre trying to do as well. 12.5 minutes still to run, plus 2 laps in this grueling MXGP first race. Some of the best riders in the world in the sand in this MXGP World Championship. Jorge Prado has won in the sand numerous times. So too, Romain Febvre, victorious at Lommel to make it 4 wins in a row before going on to win in the sand in Finland for his 5th win of the season, 5 in a row, Romain Febvre. These two very much at the top of their game. And he goes long. He's going to stay low over the next jump, and we're going to have a change for the lead. Prado thought about closing down the gap. He'll go the long way round. In fact, he yields. Febvre leads at the end of lap 9. Watch this here. Just made that line his own. Febvre. Can he pull clear? Or, we saw the back end kick around there. Are there going to be a couple of mistakes that's allowed Prado to get back on him? And if you cast your mind back to what happened in Sweden a couple of weeks ago when he made a mistake, tried to pull clear. He just threw the front end away and lost vital points. 3 points in race 1. He looks fully focused here, though. Does the Kawasaki rider, number 3. Still believes this World Championship can be won by him. Carving his way underneath the slower traffic. Right, Maxime Renault down in 7th place. Oh, and he's just facing the wrong way there. Possible high side or just back end coming around on him. So Maxime Renault then picking himself up. Meanwhile, in and amongst traffic, Romain Febvre. Who's he with? Sven van der Meerden. And maybe the 118 there of Joel van Mechelen. Either way, a couple of colour-blind back markers there. Interfering. Whoa. Nothing much in that, but one of those where the front end just comes up. This was a lap ago where he made the pass for the lead. Came nice and low over the jump. Prado thought about it, realised actually, show me half a mudguard. I'll go to the outside. And Febvre, once he'd committed to the outside Prado, Febvre was like, you know what? I'm coming through anyway. It's your job to back down. That's exactly what Prado did. Lisa Leyland's down in pit lane. She's going to catch up with Antti Pirinen, the team manager for Kawasaki.
Antti, we just saw Febvre make the pass on Prado. He applied the pressure, he got the job done. Is he going to be able to pull clear?
Yeah, I believe so. So far it's been an amazing moto, you know, and we expected this because at the moment he is so strong on the sand, whatever conditions. So yeah, fingers crossed, but we believe he is going to bring it home.
Best of luck to the team. Thanks, Antti.
And Febvre stalls the engine and he can't get going. Look, the bike is overheating, it's steaming. He's got an issue and Febvre is out of the race. Or is he? He's got issues there. He gets going, he rejoins, but he has lost the lead. The gap was down to 93 points. Wow. More drama here in MXGP between the top two in the championship. He does everything right. He gets to the lead. He pulls clear. But Prado now leads. Seewer second. Febvre third. He can't believe it. Not sure what the issue was there, but he took a long time to get going out of that turn. And there was a lot of steam popping out the bottom of the engine there. Back to being a frustrated Frenchman all over again, Romain Febvre. He looked like he was just spinning up, or he just couldn't. I don't know, I'm just baffled by what happened there. In a right-hander, yeah, you can say that he stalled. Koldenhoff breathing down his neck now. Koldenhoff in fourth. What a way this championship is turning out to be. Prado right there, right place, right time. Oh, and another mistake there for Febvre, just at the end of the straight, almost out the front door. Needed all of his upper body strength to save that third place, and he keeps looking down as well. Knows he has to finish the race to keep this championship alive. 7 long minutes plus 2 laps for the Frenchman. Meanwhile, Prado from 2 seconds behind, 6.2 seconds clear of Seewer, and he's put 5 more points between himself and the number 3. Watch this here, a lap ago. He just comes in, just bottomed out there, hit the brakes, locked up, and then he's got the clutch in. Look, he's trying to go, and it's like the chain and the wheel spin and everything seemed to lock up. Couldn't get out of there. Strange, strange circumstances for Febvre. Did he change that? Because he probably would have been in second gear, maybe third gear. Probably tried to looked like he locked up, fired it up on the electric start. Probably hadn't moved out of third gear, and the thing doesn't want to pull it, so it's just like struggling to go. Maybe. Either way, self-inflicted error from Febvre, costing him the win in this race. Certainly costing him the lead anyway. The lead back out to 101 points. Advantage, Prado once again. You can't make this stuff up this year. Here's Koldenhoff, currently in fourth. Montreal's Yamaha rider out in his own in that fourth place. Four seconds behind Febvre, 9 seconds clear of Tim Geiser. Geiser in fifth, Ferrato 6, Maxim Renault 7, Jonas 8, Bogus 9, Mitch Evans 10. Ben Watson in 11th place. Good to see B-Dub up there. Here's Seewer in second. He'll be a lot happier than he was yesterday. Looking pretty decent through there as well. Jumping long and then almost around, overshooting turn 11. Came in a little bit too hot there, Déjà. Good flow though, good rhythm. 4.5 seconds, 3 seconds down on Prado. As Prado backed it off, as Seewer turned it up. Is there going to be a win in store for the number 91? Will he believe he can win, or is Prado just playing with him and his emotions at the moment? There's Fernandez over on the right-hand side. Ruben Fernandez still circulating in 18th position. Still haven't seen what happened to him on the first lap with Benoit Pacharel. Whether it was turn 1 or turn 2, in and around that area maybe. 2.9 the gap. 53.3, 51.4. Prado and Seewer respectively, but you can see Seewer really pushing the envelope here. 3.5 minutes plus 2 to go. Not going to give up without a fight, is he? The 91 Seewer waves yellows out of this turn. That's the other side of the jump. Man down. There's Prado, top end of the screen through the next right-hander. Oh, heavy landing there for Seewer. Watch this. Oh, didn't get the distance over the hole. And then that just messed everything else up through those next through waves in that turn. Turn 8. Got this nicer lap ago. Even nicer this time around because he almost ran on a lap ago. And the gap has gone out 4.7 seconds. That's how much it cost him. That little error. Jeremy Seewer still pushing. Down to less than 4 seconds again. Right, Febvre, 3 seconds behind Seewer. Quicker than him last time around. 51.1, 51.9, 51.1. So same times as Prado. 8 tenths quicker than Seewer. Seewer just the other side of the Liquid Moly Bridge, but the gap's still 3.5 seconds between the two of them. Prado, top of your screen, in the right-hander now. Seewer, and then coming into view in green, Romain Febvre. Then you got Koldenhoff, Geiser, Ferrato. Jumping back into view, the 61, Jorge Prado. Febvre is closing in on Jeremy Seewer. The Swiss cannot afford to relax. Top of your screen through the right hander now. Seewer, then the green of Febvre. Coming back into view. Back marker doing his best to stay out of the way. You can see the leaders coming through. Prado's already lapped him, so there's a warning. Oh, Seewer fighting the front end as he came into land and changed direction there to avoid the slower rider. Febvre gunning for Seewer though. That's Petrov, isn't it? So the number 9, Petrov, the AIT Yamaha. Petrov in 16th place at the moment. 5 seconds separate the first 3 riders. Prado, Seewer, Febvre. Febvre still 2.5 behind Seewer. He'll be absolutely kicking himself. Just came in too hot to that turn, locked up the back end, fired it up, didn't want to go anywhere. But it's played into the hands once again of Jorge Prado, who will gain 5 points on his closest rival, taking the gap out to 101. Two-lap board getting ready a few corners from now. Seewer knows he's under attack. Having to up his pace to stay clear of Febvre. And there's Prado just ahead of him as well. Prado, he's got traffic ahead of him. He goes a long way round. That's not 2 seconds anymore. 1.6. First, second and third. Ignore the rider on the left-hand side. These are back marker. All of a sudden, game on with 2 to go. Is Prado going to feel the heat? Wow, what a lap this has been for Seewer. 1:53.1, 1:51.2, the gap a second, and a 50.2, even quicker for Romain Febvre. We've got a 2-lap dash for the race win. Seewer is in a good flow here. Prado knows as well. He goes long, he makes a mistake, but he pulls it back. Track not the easiest to overtake on, but, and I'm sure Prado knows that, as he steps up even further into that left-hander, gains another couple of bike lengths. Nice line that, jumping further around the turn, that left-hander. There's a response here as well from the 61. Oh, Seewer running into trouble. That allows Febvre to close onto the rear wheel of the Yamaha. The Kawasaki rider now pushing. The gas just starting to pull some ground. 1.7. Oh, what a race this is turning out to be. Coming in hot again, he likes that line, and he's all over the back of Prado once again. Are we going to see it past pit lane? If he gets close enough, Seewer. Oh, the Swiss upside down and back to front. His chance of the race win goes begging. Febvre now in the second. Seewer down, out of second place. Should be able to maintain third place as the 1-lap board goes out and Jorge Prado lets off the hook again. Febvre 4 seconds adrift. He is in the right place at the right time. It's been that kind of season for him. There to pick up the pieces when Febvre made his mistake. Race 1 Sweden. There when Febvre's bike failed to go when he stalled. And just as he was being closed on here, Seewer down. And breathing space again for the Spaniard. 4 seconds clear of Febvre as he heads into the final lap. Cost Seewer about 9 seconds, that fall. But he does pick himself up in third. But it's a crash that you don't need. With about an hour or so, hour and a half recovery time. He'll get himself showered, he'll debrief. The bike may need a little bit of adjusting and a bit of straightening out, maybe. He'll be first in line for the physio just to say, right, tweak this, tweak that, rub that down. But Prado in cruise mode on this final lap. Febvre will continue to push on, but he's running out of time. And back markers in his way aren't helping either. Oh, tried to get out of the way there, but Febvre just went outside, inside. Three corners to go for Jorge Prado. And down past pit lane for the final time. Febvre not going to be close enough. That's him thrown in the towel. Job done. Game over. Jorge Prado out of the final turn. And he wins, race win, number 13 here in Holland. And that has taken a lot out of him as well. Taken a lot out of all our riders, I think. That was a fierce pace. Red Bull Gas rider, first to congratulate Febvre, who's just like, yeah, what, nah, gave it to you. I gave it to you. Prado won't mind about that, though. He's 101 points clear. We'll grab a word with our winner in a moment. .99 points the gap. It was 101 when he was parked there in third place, wasn't it? Frustrating season for Febvre. But Prado wins it. Febvre second, Seewer third, Coldenhoff fourth, Geiser fifth, Ferrato sixth, Renault 7, Jonas 8, Bogus 9. Mitch Evans will cross the line in 10th place. Bring the rest of the riders home. Be interesting to see how out of puff the race winner is, because hot conditions, physically demanding racetrack, a high tempo. Riders definitely feeling it here today. Just waiting for Osland, Tom Cock and Max Spies. 12th, 13th and 14th. So Osland on the JWR Honda, Tom Cock. Oh, here's Jorge Prado, helmet already off. And here's Lisa.
Jorge Prado, great job out there. Took the foxhole shot, put yourself in the right place at the right time. Another race win, but I know that took a lot out of you, that one.
Yeah, I mean, the track is just hitting holes again, you know. It's no speed at all, and we just hit holes everywhere. I mean, we cannot even proper sun riding, but got a good start and, yeah, won the race. Quite tough track to maintain the rhythm. It's super tough, and, yeah, looking forward for the second moto.
Thanks, Jorge.
Nothing much to say. Track frustrating him. Not even like a real sand track. Hard holes, just constantly battling holes. Battling Febvre, battling Seewer. But he comes away with his 13th race win here in Arnhem. Strengthens his grip once more at the top of the championship. Gains another point over the course of the weekend so far on Romain Febvre. 99 points clear now as he heads into race 2. Actually, final lap, Romain Febvre put the fastest sector 2 in of the race. Such was his desire to close down the race win. Here's the highlight, Sam. Look at Kevin Horgmo sweeping across from over on the left-hand side as we look down, the number 10 to the outside, but it was Prado with the foxhole shot for the 11th time in race 1. That's where the riders went down. Benoit Pacharel and Fernandez just on the inside of turn 1. Prado led though. Seewer second, Febvre third. And then the number 3 down the inside of Seewer to take over second. He then eyed up Prado for the lead, but it was Fernandez that came in for goggle change. You can see the after effects of that first turn crash. Tim Geiser got the better of Calvin Verlanderen as he moved up into 7th. And then Maxime Renault. Right, watch this here. Ferrato nudged aside Calvin Verlanderen. That was for 8th place. Looking to pick himself up. Then Maxime Renault spun out, went down. He would eventually come home in 7th. The battle for the lead. Febvre, all of a sudden down the inside on lap 9. Took the lead away from Prado, and it looked like he was going to be home and dry. Put a couple of seconds in, then he came into land, stalled it, just pulled the clutch in, didn't even change down look. So he's obviously trying to get going. Now he realizes, go down another gear, but the thing just didn't want to go. It's almost like problematic of a hydraulic clutch if that's what he's running. Seewer then was closing in until this happened. Prado breathing space. And an easy cruise to victory in race 1. 25 points, race win number 13 for Prado from Febvre and Seewer. Definitely know they've been out there in a Grand Prix this weekend, these guys. Results from race 1. Prado wins it for the 13th time from Febvre, Seewer, Koldenhoff, Tim Geiser, Albi Ferrato, who muscled his way into 6th place, just as Calvin Verlanderen, Renault and Jonas, and then we had Brian Bogus and Mitch Evans, Ben Watson, Alvin Austin, Tom Cock, Max Speeds, Valentin Guillot, Petr Petrov. Rounding out the points, Ruben Fernandez, Tristan Purden, Marcel Koenen and Sven van der Meerden.
Wel, dames en heren, we gaan pauzeren. We gaan even pauzeren, want we moeten even wat druk van de ketel afhalen.
Take a look at the foxhole shot. Right at the start of the race.
We gaan pauzeren.
Just look into the inside there to see if we have any of the aftermath there, but no. Jorge Prado for the 11th time. Tied with Seewer, but because he was the last foxhole shot winner, he will go to the top of the standing. So he is on 11, Seewer on 11, Romain Febvre on 4, Koldenhoff on 3, Ruben Fernandez and Valentin Guillot on 1 apiece. Take a look at some of the best moments, shall we? Some of the best moments, some of the not so good moments, depending on who you are. We'll be back in about an hour's time. Hope you can join us for the second half of the racing here in Arnhem when we return with MX2 Race 2. We'll see you then.